Hello everybody, let's have a look at some of these coins, and we're going to look at Link as well as other altcoins in this, but we're also checking out Link for another reason, is because with us doing a lot of bot trading, we're looking to find a really good pair when it comes to trading bots, and Link appears to be long term a perfect bot pairing. I'll show you the reasons why before I get into the details of this one. So whether it be Link BTC or Link with Ethereum, the chart has been demolished recently, but overall the chart is absolutely phenomenal on the weekly. So this is Link with Ethereum pairing, breaking down still, and this is Link Bitcoin pairing, breaking down still, but you can clearly see that overall this would be a great asset to trade with the bot pairing. At the moment, the only bot pairing I've got going currently is easy to Ethereum, and I've basically accumulated 38% over 17 days. So started with 2 Ethereum, I've almost got 3 Ethereum just from letting this bot do its things, increased my overall profit as well as my accumulated amount of Ethereum. So this has been a nice little pair, but I'm looking now for the long term, which is why I'm focusing on Chainlink. So we're going to look at Chainlink on this video, but first of all, let's have a little rundown of what's been going on with Bitcoin. So to start with, we can't ignore that the Dixie is dying and will continue to die, in my opinion, even though we're having relief bounces here and there, which is what's, I suppose, given the indecision to Bitcoin at the moment. Bitcoin kind of undecided whether it wants to try and to test for its all-time highs at the moment. It's Bitcoin is the king, but the queen is essentially the Dixie. So whatever the Dixie decides to do, if it goes up, Bitcoin's likely to suffer. If the Dixie continues to go down, then it leaves the Bitcoin to carry on moving, which is basically a oversimplified version of current events. So at the moment, Bitcoin is still hanging up right up here. They closed the weekly yesterday in the green, so it looks to me like it still wants to continue to push up and away, making higher highs basically, but at the moment it's basically just a little undecided. So that indecisiveness has lent itself to Bitcoin dominance, which is basically now allowing for a little bit of what I could consider perhaps maybe an alt season, even though that may be short-lived, because everything sort of is balancing on the edge of the Dixie. And if the Dixie decides to go back down again from where we are at right now, which in my opinion is quite likely, then I think the only one who's really going to win is Bitcoin. But in this short period that we've got now, this very, very short period of sideways trading, it's going to allow for alts to kind of have a little rally. But I don't think it will continue for a great deal longer. Anyway, so what we were looking at yesterday on Bitcoin, we had this descending trend line here. We've broken above it. It looks as though we're looking to try and test that as a support zone. If that's closed above there today, then yeah, I'd say that we're pretty much primed for making higher highs on Bitcoin, even if it's just into the lower $20,000 region. Obviously, we're still waiting for a pullback or a consolidation phase, but at the moment we've held up this area significantly well. So in my opinion, the consolidation might not happen at these levels. They might happen at higher levels. So that is basically all there really is to do with Bitcoin. It's the same thing that we've been talking about. We do have bearish divergence taking place on the RSI, which is of some relevance, I suppose, but it's not really playing out in any way, shape or form. The MACD redistribution phase, really. The money flow index just constantly at reasonably high levels, but no way near high enough for it to be a warning signal. We're holding up above all major moving averages as well. So it's a perfectly decent chart to look at and say, yes, ready for another push up. Transfer this knowledge over to the altcoins. So we're going to have a look at XRP. XRP, basically same kind of deal. Basically exactly the same kind of deal, consolidating from this high but not breaking down from it, above all major moving averages, which is great. In fact, on the daily, it just looks like it wants to kind of go sideways. I'd be surprised if it tries to take out its most recent high up here, but at the same token, these Bollinger Bands are pinching now on the 4-hourly. MACD has a positive cross, even though it's in negative territory. This could pop, definitely, but it also could break down. Very, very unstable at this moment in time. A lot of people hanging onto their coins for that airdrop, which in my opinion is a bit of a it's a bit of a concern for the price overall, because really what this should have done is it should have tried to consolidate further from that giant move, and it hasn't. So people are holding onto these tokens longer than they need to, in the idea that they will be rewarded with a Spark token, or a few. Me personally, I'm not going in for any of that. I think anything's possible, and obviously there will be hundreds of millions of XRP tokens floating around in the ether waiting for that drop, but with the airdrop will come a dump, in my opinion. Everyone's going to want to get their Spark tokens, everyone's going to want to get their XRP sold as soon as they receive that. I think we're looking at fundamentally a reason why there will be a giant dump. Whether or not the chart is neither here nor there, in my mind there's going to be lots and lots of people with lots and lots of XRP that are very eager to sell it because they see the instability and they know the instability of XRP, and I think there will be a giant dump as soon as that airdrop comes online. But for the moment, it's holding up relatively well, much better than I expected it to anyway. Ethereum, again, it's super bullish on the weekly, super bullish on the daily, but we are struggling to break above that previous high that we had of around about 637. Again, above all major moving averages, which I don't really have any reason to say that this is going to do anything other than lurk around this area and maybe make another push. But for this moment in time, I've got no reason to be bearish on it, even though it looks pretty extended on the chart formation. It doesn't in any way look overextended when we're looking at the indicators. They both, all of these, look really good for another big push up. We could be looking for 700, maybe even 800. For an Ethereum, but it's difficult to give any kind of time frame on that, because essentially we're going sideways, and it basically is copying Bitcoin, everything riding on the back of this Dixie. So if Dixie continues to fall, then Bitcoin is likely to go up. It will take the strong caps with it, but the alt season will be postponed until later. And finally, let's look at Chainlink. So Chainlink's been a bit of a, kind of sleeping really. It did giant, absolutely, probably the biggest move it's done, all the way up here in a long time. And as a result of that, a giant consolidation. But that is what Chainlink likes to do. So from the top to that bottom area down there, what we're looking at is 64% retracement, so that was pretty nasty. So as a result of that, now we're being brought back up and we're riding above all major moving averages on the weekly. Let's have a look on the daily. It's probably not going to look quite as good. On the daily, we're kind of broken down. We had this up facing channel here, which I said is usually a bearish move, so we were riding this, and this was all quite nice. We hit the top of it and we basically came back down to the center, to the bottom of the Bollinger Band. Now we're above the green 50 exponential, so it's still pretty good, but it has lost that formation, and maybe it's consolidating from this high at the moment. So long as we're above the green 50 exponential, everything's good. But we're looking, like I say, to trade this on bots. And so what we really want to do, we don't want to trade it against Tether. It's not like a spot trade. We want to trade it against other pairs like Ethereum or Bitcoin. That's where our money's going to be made with the bots. So what we really want to focus on are these charts. So on the weekly chart, what we're looking at here is a massive breakdown here from Chainlink to Bitcoin, and that. What we really want to do is trying to spot if this is going to be a bottom now. So again, 61% retracement on the weekly, hitting this, which is basically our last moving average of any significance. So the green 50 exponential was where we're kind of being held a little bit below it. Now if we do break down from here, we would come down to around about this level here, which is 48,000 sats. And that, in my opinion, would be a perfect opportunity to buy it back at, because look, this is where we launched from at this point here. If you think that this chart isn't going to continue to go up incrementally, you might be right in thinking that, but I doubt it. Historically, this has been an extremely excellent chart to trade, and it's almost like rude not to hold Chainlink as a result. So what's better than holding Chainlink? It's having a bot holding Chainlink, trading it every day against Bitcoin or Ethereum, which both of these charts look extremely bullish long term, and this is what we're looking to hold these bots long term. We want to accumulate as much Ethereum and as much Bitcoin as possible, and Chainlink looks like the perfect opportunity to do that, if not right this very moment, very shortly. We're looking for confirmation of the bottom really before we actually set that bot up. I mean, it's all very well us having bots on things like Easy to Ethereum, because basically this chat just goes sideways and sideways and sideways, but and that's what the bot likes. But really what we want to do is have it go sideways and up, because that allows us to not just accumulate more through the volatility of the coin and the pairing, but basically have both of our base pairs, Link and Ethereum, or Link and Bitcoin, or all of them, go up in value as the bot accumulates more. So again, you know, I am going to set this bot up definitely, but have I yet found confirmation of the bottom? No, not quite yet. And which one am I likely to choose? Am I going to go for Link Ethereum or Link Bitcoin, or should I just do a bit of both? I think, in the way I'm seeing the whole market at the moment, I think it would probably be worth doing Link to Bitcoin with the amount of Bitcoin that gets flooded into the market at the moment, and the overall picture of Bitcoin in the public's eyes right now is that you really should try to be accumulating as much as possible wherever you can, and a bot will allow us to do that, and this is the chart to do it on. So we just got to spot the bottom, set that bot up, and I think I'll be going for Ethereum for my Easy to Ethereum. That's fine, that's worked really well, and it's going to continue to work really well. And I think my bot will be set up with Link versus Bitcoin, not only because you want to have as much Bitcoin as possible, so the bot will obviously bring in as much as it can as bot profit, as well as profiting from both base currencies overall, but the volume is going to be higher with Bitcoin versus Chainlink than it would be with Ethereum. Easy to Ethereum, that's its only trading pair, so that can sit there making me as much Ethereum as possible. I think I'm going to go for the BTC pairing on this one, because the volatility plus the exponential growth plus the volume, epic. Anyway, I'm going to leave it with you there, but thank you for watching. Join my Telegram channel if you want to know more about anything that I'm speaking about, and I hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.